नमस्कार दोस्तों, रैंकर्स क्यू में आपका स्वागत है। आज जो मैं डिक्टेशन प्रोवाइड करने जा रही हूँ उसकी स्पीड 100 वर्ड पर मिनट रहेगी और सेम डिक्टेशन मैंने आपको 80 वर्ड पर मिनट पे पहले वीडियोस में दे चुकी हूँ। आपकी स्पीड इंक्रीज हो इसलिए सेम डिक्टेशन मैं 100 वर्ड पर मिनट पे लाई हूँ। सो गेट रेडी फॉर द डिक्टेशन। Sir, I rise to oppose this bill because it seeks to widen the enabling power of the central government to restrict or abrogate the rights conferred on the citizens of our country under the chapter of fundamental rights. Madam, I know the Honorable Minister of Home Affairs characteristic to his approach and method of disposing of the matter in Parliament may say that most of the part of my speech is not relevant to this important aspect. But, however, I am inclined to say all these things because after going through his a small bill, question has arisen before me where the present ruling party at the center is leading to because already there are enabling powers in the constitution, adequate enabling powers, and by exercising such enabling powers there are adequate rules, regulations, laws, acts and statutes to denude the people of our country of their fundamental rights. Already this particular session of Parliament has been seized of passing the National Security within bracket Amendment Bill, the terrorist affected areas within bracket a special courts bill, and today itself amending Article 356 of the Constitution in so far as it applies to Punjab. Already by National Security within brackets Second Amendment Act they have taken upon themselves the power of preventive detention of any person on any account or any ground. By the terrorists affected areas within bracket a special courts act they have taken upon themselves the power of declaring any part of our country as terrorist affected and any act as terrorist act and therefore to take action against them. Madam, by amending Article 356 from today, they have assumed powers to extend the President's rule now in Punjab and it is expected in other states also in course of time. Madam, I like to stress on a particular point which I wanted to say when the terrorist affected areas within bracket a special courts bill was sought to be passed from this house that the present ruling party at the center is going to take upon itself the emergency powers without declaring emergency as per constitutional provisions. Already I have said and now I am going to say it again. In the meantime, we have seen press statement appearing in a section of the press. Some members of parliament of the ruling party at the center have issued a stating as if a situation is being created like the pre-emergency situation in 1975, thereby indicating that the government may have to declare emergency in our country. Madam Vice Chairman, you know that a burnt child dreads fire. The people of our country, including myself, had the experience of what the enabling power of the government in restricting or abrogating the fundamental rights of the people mean during the emergency. We have seen how all kinds of democratic rights were either restricted or abrogated, including the rights of the members of parliament's speeches being published outside, including the rights of the judiciary, the rights of the press, all types of freedom. I recall all that. I recall what the Attorney General of India had stated in the Supreme Court in connection with the habeas corpus petition. At that time, I was behind the bars. I had read all these things in the newspapers. He said that even if a citizen of India is detained and killed in police custody, his relatives had no right to go to the court of law for judicial redress because of emergency. All these rights were abrogated. So, madam, in this background, I like to look at this particular bill because already there is Article 33 whereby the government, or for that matter Parliament, has got the power to restrict or abrogate the fundamental rights in respect of members of the armed forces and other forces who are engaged in the maintenance of law and order and security of our country. Now, by this bill, it has been sought to be extended to certain other sections of the personnel, as the Minister of Home Affairs has stated, connection with the security of our country. Madam, I want to draw the attention of the Honorable Minister to the first modification. I quote: persons employed in any bureau or other organizations established by the state for purposes of intelligence or counter-intelligence. Madam, you know that even though the people of our country enjoy in real terms very little democratic rights, and for that matter particularly the employees of the people employed in the central or state services, whether it is in the army or it is in any civilian department, yet there is some distinction between people employed in the armed forces and the people employed in the civilian departments. Persons employed as civilians in the army headquarters, stations and installations do enjoy certain rights and privileges and some trade union rights